All right. So if you are familiar with Buddhism, you probably have heard about the concept of non-self, right? And a lot of people have a hard time understanding the concept of non-self. So let me give you one basic explanation. It may help you understand the concept of non-self. So when you think about yourself, the concept of self is not as clear as you think it is. Let me give you an example. For example, how do you define yourself physically? What is yourself from the physical perspective? Well, you may be saying, well, what is inside my skin? What is inside my skin would be considered part of me, part of myself, and what is outside would be something else that would not be part of me, right? Okay, that's a simple explanation. But if you think about it a little more deeply, for example, think about the air. The air that you are breathing in and out, we are breathing in and out all the time, right? Is that part of you? The air. Well, without the air, you would be dead, right? You wouldn't be alive without the air that you are breathing. So maybe the air around you should be part of you as well. And now the concept of self should include the air that you are breathing in and out, right? And not just the air. How about the food that you have to eat to sustain yourself? Without the food, you would be dead as well, right? So maybe the food should be considered part of you as well, because you cannot live independently without having any consumption, food consumption, right? The food, the air, and a lot of other things, right? You depend on those things, and the air depends on a lot of other things. The food depends on a lot of other things. So basically, the when you say this is myself, it's not that clear because yourself depends on a lot of things around you, and those things around you that you depend on in turn depend on a lot of other things. So it's hard for you to draw specific boundaries and say this is myself, because it's not that clear if you think about it more carefully, right? So the concept of self is more of a it's in a sense it's an artificial concept. In reality, if you look at the ultimate reality, it's not there. But it's we call someone, this is Jim, this is Michael, this is Robert. We make it convenient for us to refer to someone. But if you think about it, in nature, the concept of self is not that is not that clear. But because we are so used to having this concept of self, we think of each person as a separate self, when in fact, each person depends on a lot of other things, and it's not that clear what the concept of self is.